So technical.
That was an adventure.
Look at all those switches. Wowzer.
So how's the quality
sewing.
coming through? It's good? Everybody's happy? Okay. Sorry about that. Going back to what we were talking about.
Start from the beginning.
Start from the beginning.
Dun, dun,
Da, da, da. Okay.
Shop
news. Okay. No, I got it backwards. That's not going to help. So this panel.
Now he's rattled.
This panel came in yesterday.
It's so cute.
And it's super cute. We have sold, and if you go on our website, we did have links to patterns and kits that we were making. I've been kitting this up all day, so we're running out of some of the fabric.
And it looks so good with the embroidery buddies.
And it's super cute. And if you are interested in this, go online right now and order it. Our online inventory should be up to date for the most part, but we're running out of this fast. Like I said, it came in yesterday. I've already cleared off 2 bolts today just cutting kits. So if you're interested, pick some of that up.
Now or never.
Yes. The other fun thing that came in is, are you ready, Eddie?
Eddie?
See,
Whoop,
okay. Here's the reveal. Da-da, da-da. Check it out. Ooh.
You're going to have to get up closer to that camera.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, okay, Eddie.
I'm sorry, but
That's all right.
to see the beauty of it.
To really understand, check that out.
Oh, it's so cute.
It's little Grogu, or the child,
Oh.
and the Mandalorian.
You don't call him Baby Yoda?
You can call him Baby Yoda, but in season 2 we learned that his name is Grogu.
Oh, okay.
So, this came in. I was very excited about this. This stuff is going to move fast. It's available online, $10.95 a yard. Because it's licensed, we got to charge a little bit more for it. But this is available on our website right now. If you're interested, pick some up. It'll make fantastic masks. If you have a Mandalorian fan in your life, can you imagine this as a mask? That would be fantastic. This is the way. Anyway, and one last bit of shop news.
I like it.
Because we're trying to encourage you all to watch this train wreck. Well, it's not much of a train wreck. It's not a train wreck. Now that you're part of it, you make it so much better.
There's still a wreck. It's just not a train.
We have, well, I was doing some cleaning up today, and we have some Love Notes kits left over. Okay. Is the green screen's killing that, isn't it?
Sometimes the green screen.
Okay, well, there you go. You can see the green screen magic. So we have the Love Notes kits left over. I have 3 of these left, and if you want to buy one, you can get a super deal. And this deal is only good until Saturday. And you can buy it online, and when you check out for a coupon code, use LOVE20, all capital letters, LOVE 20, and get 20% off of the Love Notes kit. And you get all the fabric you need to make the Love Notes mystery quilt that they did, because it's no longer a mystery, so you know it's time to move the kits out. And it also has all the patterns and embellishments are here. So if it's something you're interested in, I have 3 of them left, 20% off now till Saturday. Once they're gone, they're gone. And like I said, to get that deal, just put LOVE20 in on coupon code when you check out, or swing in the store and we'll give you that deal too.
And the date on Saturday is?
Midnight.
No, what date?
That's the time.
Calendar date.
It should be the 20th. All right.
Order by the 20th.
Order by the 20th.
Put in LOVE20.
LOVE20.
And what's 20% bring it to?
20%. It normally goes for $149.99. 20% of $150 is $30. So it's going to bring you down to like $120. Saves you some serious cash.
Wowzer.
And you can spend that on like the thread that you might need to make it. I mean, I'm sure you can find a million other things to spend that $30 on.
They can still come in and ask questions?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right,
We're here to help. So if you have any questions, you need anything, just come on in and we will give you a hand. So that's all I've got for shop news today. Is, you know, I thought, you know, that's all. Mandalorian fabric, the critter stuff, which is fantastic, and the Love Notes 20% off if you order it by Saturday. And on that note, I'm going to get out of Becky's way and let her do her magic.
Oh. Well, as promised, I want to open up the show with a $10 gift card. Here's the noise! Woo! Woo! Take the mask off now, Becky. Okay. I promised you last week there was going to be a little quiz. And you had from last week to this week to watch the video. And I told you it wasn't just going to be a giveaway. It's not. But it's not really hard either.
Gonna make them work for it?
I made them work a little bit. And
Okay.
I'm hoping we can continue this. This would be a lot of fun.
Oh,
for
yeah,
me,
we'll continue.
anyway.
Yeah. We'll keep
So
it
here's
going.
the rules. I'm going to ask a 3-part question. You got to put them all on one line in your return. Or if you want to call in, I guess. But
Hey, I got to do the comments because we call in, the phone's going to go crazy.
it's going to be the comments. You have to have all 3 on one line. If you get excited and you push the return too early, baby cakes, you got to start over.
So the first comment to have all three correct answers wins the $10.
Wins the $10 gift card.
That's correct.
Right? Does anybody have any questions on how that's going to work? Moderator, are you ready?
Are you ready? Wait, how many people we have chiming in for this?
16.
Nice.
Moderator, are you ready?
This is gonna be good. Imagine if you actually did this in the store, it would get like violent.
I love this.
There'd be like a fight breakout.
Now I'm going to pause between them so you get time to think. Don't hit that return key till you think you got all 3. All right? All 3. I got to do this. All 3. Okay. What was Brent's favorite embroidery buddy? Tick, tick, tick.
Did you
No
get
shout outs. Tick, tick. Don't hit
Did
the
you do our
return
graphic,
key.
Eddie?
Tick, tick,
What? I already
tick,
did.
tick, 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 tick.
I didn't get to see
Okay.
it.
Question number 2. What did Becky accidentally spray on her fabric during fabric prep time?
In the store.
What product did I accidentally spray on my fabric?
During the show or the store you told?
I demonstrated it during the show.
Okay. Okay.
Stop being a...
I haven't heard these questions. I want to make sure I understand them. I have a pet peeve of badly written questions. I have to make sure.
Well, next time you can read my questions ahead of time. Question number 3. Are you ready?
That's assuming I'd have... Yeah.
What product... Don't make me laugh. I'll use a lung. What product did Becky stumble upon that is fast becoming one of my favorites?
That's the one that stumped me.
Stumble upon that
That
came.
was not for me.
Ready? That's it. Hit return when you get them.
Where did they
I'll
go?
repeat. Do I need to repeat them? Oh, there's a delay. I forget. I get so excited, but I have to wait for a delay.
Yeah, and all of a sudden the comments are going to explode.
Okay, guys. What was Brent's favorite embroidery buddy? What did I accidentally spray on my fabric during fabric prep? This is not good. I made it too hard.
I don't know.
What product did Becky stumble upon that is fast becoming a favorite of mine?
Maybe our microphone's dead again.
This shouldn't be.
It should.
Nobody's complaining.
Are you there?
I don't know.
Bueller.
Anybody participating?
At this point, I'll just take the first answer. All right.
Did I make it too hard?
Any comment?
Any questions?
Hello? Are the comments not working?
Well, we got a hi. Sorry I'm late. So.
Who was that?
That was before we started the quiz,
Okay.
though.
Sound is good. So.
I can't hear. I can hear. Did you hear the quiz?
Maybe they didn't watch
I can
last
hear.
week's.
Rosella can hear.
Maybe none of these
Sorry,
people
I
watched
couldn't
last
hear.
week. Maybe we should just.
Don't know any of them.
I know they're all.
Did anybody watch last week's show?
That's all right.
Don't know any of them. Oh
All
dear. Oh dear.
I think we should. I think we're at the point we should settle for one of them.
Okay, did anybody know?
The first correct one. We got
See last
Just
week's
one
show.
of 3.
one of
One
three.
of 3?
One of
Anybody
three.
know any of them?
Nobody saw us. I knew it.
Didn't last week's show.
I don't know. This is my first visit.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay, well, welcome.
Welcome. Yay.
Welcome. Glad you're in the house.
All right. Well, they're all having fun. That's their first
Okay,
visit.
I'm
That's
glad
fine.
you're here.
We'll just continue, and then the first correct answer shows up wins.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
We're watching.
Okay, Oh, bummer. Well, just so you know, in next week's show,
Will be a quiz on this
the
week?
quiz is based on this week's show. So you have all week to see the show. And if you get the answers right, you get... Wait!
Oh, what do we got?
Wait!
Spray glue, cheap starch.
Yeah, that's 2. That's 2
She
out
wins.
of 3, Kate.
She wins. We said we were going to take the
Kate?
first one.
Kate, do you know what his favorite buddy was? Unicorn.
Unicorn. Okay.
Unicorn. All right, Kate's the winner. Kate's the winner. Woo, Kate. We'll be sending it to you.
Yeah.
All right. So next week, for all you new peeps, glad you're joining us. Same idea. We'll start the quiz with something from the show before. Okay? Woo! Okay. Well, that was fun. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that was fun.
It was more work than I was expecting it to be. I was like, I was ready for the...
Oh,
It's
no,
all
I'm
right.
dying with
We'll
coffee.
get them going.
All right, I want to, I forgot to do some of my turbo tips last week, so I'm thinking, let's start with turbo tips. They look dead. All right, the first is, now I understand that some of my tips may be tips that you already know out there, but I didn't know them. And I learned them, so I think they're exciting. And I have thread coming out of this from somewhere. Well, that's tip number 2.
What?
I don't mangle threads. But I didn't know this tip. And I saw it, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so fantastic. This rubber tubing here,
Vinyl tubing.
vinyl tubing. Is not
I'm
rubber
just
tubing.
saying, you know, if you...
It's 1/2-inch vinyl tubing that you can pick up like at Home Depot. You can use it to make drink machines.
I don't recommend drinking and sewing at the same time. Your
Right,
seam
no, I
allow-
don't
your,
need it, but
se-
you
your
can.
seam allowance
But-
might
but-
suffer.
What else it's good for is taming your bobbins. Like, how many of you have a case of bobbins? Oh, that green screen's really messing with me. We need another color. How many of you have a box of bobbins that looks something like this? Brent, they can't see my
Okay, that's my bad. Okay, I'm not paying attention. I'm failing. Okay, bobbin. There you go. Bobbin box.
Like that. It looks ugly like that, right?
Just a mess.
Yeah.
With thread all over the
Yeah,
place.
and you keep putting it. Or even if you get those pre-wound ones that you love.
Pre-wound,
and you,
yep.
You open the case, and then they go flying all over the place. And then again, with the loose threads. Well, if you take this silly little 1/2-inch stuff, and you just clip it with scissors, nothing fancy, you can clip it. Where can I get that, Bert?
I was gonna wherever you want to put it. I'll follow you.
Can't see it.
All right, right there on the mat. But you got to move the box. There you go.
There we go.
Professional
You just cut
level
it.
right here.
You just cut it with your scissors, and then you put a little snip in it, like this, so it opens up. See?
Wow.
And
Maybe.
then what you can do is just slide it over your bobbins, even your big bobbins. Doesn't matter what size bobbin. You just slide it over like that, and all of a sudden your thread stays nice and tidy. See that? It's like a little bobbin keeper.
And vinyl tubing is cheap too.
Yeah, and look, there you have it. And everything, I'm not going to have this anymore. It's going to be all nice and tidy like this. Isn't that nice?
1/2-inch vinyl tubing.
Is that new to anybody? I hope it's new. It's new
It
to
was
me.
new to me.
Doing down my YouTube rabbit hole.
One of the greatest tips I've
came
heard.
up with
Yeah.
that. So, Brent, you said you were going to cut some of this up.
I was, but the week got away from me. We'll have some
No,
available.
I meant this
yeah,
week.
yeah, we'll have some available.
So you don't have to buy a whole big hunk of
Yeah.
it, right? You can come
Yeah,
in
we
and
were
get
gonna.
just
Yeah, we're gonna do like 10 for a buck. Yeah, I
a
mean.
little bag of these
Yeah.
to save you bobbins.
Yeah, reasonably priced. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now the other tip, well, you know, I'm being accused of showing things that and then saying I like them. Well, I'm going to show you, I'm going to add things I don't like. What I call fails. Because I'm always buying gadgets. My sister calls me the gadget girl. I got to try every gadget that's out there. And truthfully, there's lots that are fails. This is a fail. And you don't sell it in the store. But some days he might, just so you know. He doesn't tell me what I can like and what I don't like.
I can go pull a fail off the shelf right now.
Okay. This is a fail.
What is it?
I don't know. It looks like something. Put it right back
This-
down there. We'll focus right there.
This is supposed to be so you can have hands-free seam ripping. This little baby is supposed to... You're laughing that I bought this, aren't you?
No, I'm laughing that there's another one that we've tried that doesn't work.
It's supposed to have a suction cup on here that... I'm sorry, Brent. I'm missing.
That's all right.
That sucks on here, and then you sit, and then you push your fabric through it with your hands free. Well, it doesn't suck, or it does suck.
What is it supposed to be on? A ruler? What is
No, you're just supposed to be able to put it on your sewing surface
it? For what though?
to put your fabric through and rip it,
Oh.
to rip your seam,
Oh.
so you can have hands-free ripping.
Yeah, but
And what happens is-
I'm loving the seam ripping dance you're doing there. It's
And
just
what
very.
happens is it pops off. So I'm doing an Eleanor Burns, save your money. This is a Fiskars product,
Blah, blah.
and it stinks. So don't buy. Save your money. Yes.
Can you repeat the tubing size for?
Half
Oh,
inch.
sure. This is 1/2 inch, and they measure it on the outside, just
Half
so you
inch
know.
OD.
Yeah, 1/2 inch outside diameter.
Okay, hold on. I'll zoom in on that.
1/2 inch outside diameter. And it's very easy to cut with just regular scissors, so you don't need special tools. It just snips off. Then you snip the little thing in it.
Yep.
You know, maybe somebody sells it by the foot. I don't know. I bought a whole bunch because
No,
I was so
yeah.
excited when I heard it. Also, I heard somebody say you can use it on, to have the tips on your, thing I just threw.
Seam
your
ripper?
seam rippers or your stilettos so they don't poke you. But I don't have that issue, so. For me, it was all about keeping my bobbins neat and tidy, and it's very inexpensive.
Yes.
So, Brent's going to take this and cut it up, right, Brent?
Yeah, we'll make that available.
Awesome possum. Okay, any other questions out there? On what not to buy and what to buy? Okay, the next tip. And by the way, if you guys got tips, I want to hear from you. Because I'm only sharing you what I find, and I know there's a lot out there. And in fact, after after last week's show, Brenda came up to me and said, "Have I got a tip for you, Becky?" I said, "You do?" She said, "Yes. I want you to show off this perfect binding miter tool. This little bugaboo right here to help you get the miters. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Help you get your miters on your quilts, just so. It's a little teeny plastic thing. And it comes with instructions, by the way. I'm going to tell you how to do it, but if I do a bad job at that, it comes with instructions. It comes with different sizes, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, and 3/8, and that depends on the binding you're putting on. Now, don't judge the next sample I'm going to show you. It is a Becky reject. So I'm actually showing a Becky reject. This is hard. This is hard.
Is that like a club your kids started?
Oh my God. This is an Easter placemat that is not going to make the cut. So I said to Brenda, give me this little tool. I want to see how it works. Brent, can you see? Now, I've not completed the binding because I wanted to demonstrate it for you. But this is just clipped in place, which, by the way, this is not how I do my binding. I think we need a whole show on binding.
That's
But
been requested more than once.
I think that's next week's
Okay,
how-to.
I got a
binding.
tip then.
Yay, I want to hear it.
Okay.
I want to hear it. But see how pretty that miter is? Can you see
Yes,
that miter?
that miter is perfect.
Well, no, we say excellent. You taught me that.
Excellent.
It's excellent.
No, he says fantastic.
Fantabulous. Ooh, even the back looks nice.
Oh, yeah.
I never look at the back because I don't care about it, because it's like I just want the top to look good.
Becky looks at the back. So, I want to show you how easy this is to do, but I actually think in next week's show, I want to go all the way back to the beginning of binding. So if you guys have tips you want me to incorporate, I'm all ears. But look how easy this is. Now, when I do my binding, I don't fold my binding in half. I'm one of those people that doesn't like the extra bulk going around my thing. So that's why mine looks like mine. I know some of you just fold it in half and then go for it. So we're going to cover both methods.
We forgive you.
My preferred method is I actually make my little binding strips and
Like-
press them and have them ready to go
Like,
like this.
That's work.
No, it really isn't, and I think it comes out beautiful. But anyway, so then Brenda comes to me and says, "What are you doing sewing from the back and then flipping to the front and da-da-da?" And I said, "No, I have to hand bind because they never look good." Brenda goes, "I'm telling you, this will look."
Sound like that?
Yes, start from the
didn't think
front,
so.
which I do, and I'm doing a 1/2 inch, so you can say I'm starting from the front. As I sew along, and you can see I sewed all the way to here for my sample tonight. When I get about 3 inches, they suggest about 3 inches from the corner, I'm going to unclip this just for demonstration. I wanted to show you it really did work, but it's just clipped on there to show you. So I'm sewing along here. I get to here. This is so cool. I'm doing a 1/2 inch, so I'm going to take my little tool here, and I'm going to just make sure it lines up in the corner. Now, first of all, people, if your corners aren't square, your miters won't be pretty, okay? It does require square corners. So
And you can make the corner square and have a nice bow through the rest of the side of the quilt.
You can, and we can demonstrate how to make that
I can show you all sorts of ways to get those
Right.
corners
But
square.
if you want nice miters, you really do need nice corners. So I'm just lining this up so it's even with air. And then I'm taking my little piece and I'm making the side of this even here and the top of it even there. And then I'm using it water soluble? Yeah, washable pen. You can use a pencil, a lead pencil, a friction pen, and whatever your favorite marker is. I simply go in this little slot and I draw a line. Now what that tells me, I don't know if you're getting this shot, Brent.
I got you putting the line down, yeah.
When I go to sew now, I'm going to sew, and I always, I'm giving away too much. I reduce my stitch length when I'm doing binding. Okay, that's next week's show. I sew until I get right here. And then
Can you angle it towards me just a hair so I can see your line? Yeah, there you go, that little blue line.
Can you see it?
I can see it right there. Oh, your nails look fantastic.
Stop it. I can't use naughty words again. So then you're going to just go right off that line on your sewing machine. So I'm going to sew till I come to this point, and then I'm going to sew off here.
So you're going to sew on the blue line?
I am.
Oh, see, I just thought you stopped at the blue line. You're going to sew right off the
I'm going
edge?
to sew on the blue line. Right, Brenda?
That's right.
Just in case I get it wrong, Brenda's here
I'm
to help.
watching you.
Brenda's here to correct me. Wait a minute. I went into... Gotta have my needle in the right spot. Okay, so...
See, sometimes I wonder when people are watching this at home and they see this giant sewing foot on the screen and they're like...
So I'm using black thread so you can see what I'm doing. I would not suggest that if I were... Ooh, this is slow. If I were, really putting my binding on, this is not the thread I would use. So I'm coming, oops, get over there. I'm coming all the way up to the blue line. Stop, needle down. Now I'm going to pivot, so I'm right on that blue line. Oops, sorry. And now I'm just going to sew off this blue line. Now, what that gives me is the exact fold for my miter. So when I pick my fabric up now, it actually stops right where it's supposed to. So now I'm not guessing, it's there. And then I simply flip this down, and again, I make sure it's even with the top, like this. And I do something different than the rest of the world, and we'll talk about that next week, but
Yeah.
I would put a pin in here. Oh, Brent Becky. Like this. And now I will sew, starting at the top, starting at the very edge of the fabric, all the way down until I get to within 3 inches of the next corner.
Nice.
And then I simply repeat. So, let's give it a whirl. Sewing over pins. I'm not going to go all the way down because we just want a nice little demo. Okay. Something wasn't happy with that. Something with my tension, I think. But anyway, it's sewed. Okay.
Well, binding's next week, so we don't need to
Right, but what happens, well, I'm going to tell you a few things to get for binding. Now when I open it up, look what I got. No guesswork.
It's a perfect miter.
It's an excellent miter.
An excellent miter.
It's ready to go. It's ready to keep going.
Making it all blurry and driving people nuts.
Oh,
Yep.
don't do that. See that?
That looks fantastic.
That's how easy it is. And it works for 1/2 inch, 3/8, 1/4 inch. And yeah, you can take a ruler and make the same thing happen. You can. But this is just such a convenient little way to make it happen. And if they come in between now and the next show, you're going to give this to them for $5 if they say they saw it on the show.
That sounds like a plan.
So if they say, hey, I want that little thing I saw on the show. It's called the Perfect Binding Miter. It's
Yes.
only $5. It's normally $6.95.
Yep.
So I
Yeah,
saw
so-
it on the show. Becky used it on the show. I need one of those. Here you have it.
And it's not going to be one of those things that you're like fail and throw it over your shoulder like you did your seam ripper.
No, I actually, as you can see, use it. And there are other things I'm going to show that will be thrown over my shoulder.
Oh, like I said, I've got plenty. Especially when it comes to bindings, there's always some
I think
stupid gadget that.
we need to be honest about binding.
Yeah, there's a lot
so
of dumb gadgets out there that.
If you
for
guys
bindings
have
especially.
any tips you want to see on anything, I'm all ears. All right? Otherwise, I think next week we'll talk binding
we'll
beginning
probably-
to end because there's a lot of different ways to do it.
Yeah.
I'll show you my way, which is a combination of probably 7 different people's way all rolled together.
I know the way I do it is at least 3 different combinations. You take
Yeah.
you take little bits and pieces of everything you learn, and that's what you go with.
And then you
Yep.
find what you like and you go
Yep.
for it. So that's it. Any questions on that?
I don't think so. Not yet.
All right. All right. Well,
Can you make the comments bigger, Eddie?
excuse me, long overdue. I keep telling you people I'm going to start you on Embrilliance. And I really am tonight. I really am going to start you on Embrilliance. And we're going to take baby steps. And we're going to first make sure you know how to download it. And then we're going to play with the fonts. And then I'm going to show you how to install fonts that you go and get. Now, if you go and get additional fonts, those cost money. But if you buy the right ones, they're not very, very much money. And then I'm going to show you the magic of if you have a Wi-Fi machine, how you can just send it to your machine and you're good to go and you bypass the USB stick. I know that's not for everybody. Other people will have to use the USB sticks. put it
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
old school.
machine and roll.
I like the USB stick.
Oh no, I like going send
Yeah, I
the
know.
machine. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so before I do that though, Eddie, can you turn to my computer screen for a minute? I want to point out on the main page here, this Vote for Our Store, Annie.com has an annual event where she asks everybody to come in and write comments and vote for their local quilt shop. And then she gives them some free airtime. And I don't know, Brent says, what else do we get if we win? I said, I don't know, a pat on the back. I don't know. But you do get airtime from Annie, which I think is really cool. She mentions not only the top winners, but she mentions a lot of other stores as well. She reads the comments and highlights stores where people have said something that is special to her. So I highly urge you to go onto Four Pines website. It's right on the top. I was going to show it to you last week, but the link was broken.
Sorry.
But it's now been fixed. So if you click on this, it will take you to Annie.com where you can vote for Four Pines Quilting. So
Yay, vote.
it doesn't cost you anything, and we would appreciate it. Everything is helpful. Oh, before talking Embrilliance, no, I do. I want to do Embrilliance first because I keep running out of time to do it. So we're doing it first. Excuse me, this darn cough cough. If you have not downloaded Embrilliance yet, whoops, sorry, you can go to their website. The reason I'm showing and talking about this so much is it's a nice, oh, that's not it.
If it is, they have problems.
Did I spell it wrong?
So I remember the early days of the internet. Remember Hotmail.com? That early.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna.
I'm just saying. Remember Hotmail, the Microsoft free email online.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's two different ways to spell mail. You
No,
spell it
that's somebody else
wrong,
telling
and
me.
you
I
get
want
yourself
their
into trouble.
website. There it is. I must have spelled it
like
wrong. Okay, here we go.
And some people still use Hotmail.
Yeah, but if you spell mail the second way, just think of where that's going to bring you on the
Give
interwebs.
me a little
Yeah.
sparkling water here.
Sure, sparkly water. That's what is that what the kids are calling it these
Oh,
days?
this bronchitis is going to be the end of me. Okay, so the reason I think this is a great piece of software is it's not tied to a given platform. It is not made for those people who are going to go out and run a business embroidering stuff, although if you took it to the highest level, you certainly could. I'm not expecting everybody to take it to the highest level. My thought process is to bring you in on the simple stuff. Whoops, what happened?
You're good.
Bring you in on the simple stuff, and then if you want to grow with it, you grow with it. The first thing I'm going to show you is how easy it is, and it's free, by the way. I'm just going to show you the free stuff first. To download the free version, you're simply going to go down, excuse me, oh my goodness. See where it says download anytime? You can do it there, or up here under downloads, or under products. But we're going to go under download anytime. Beep, beep, beep. You scroll down here, you have to, okay, now that was not me. That was not me. Let me try this. They have a link problem tonight. There we go. Well, use this button, the download button up here. It seems to work better. You have to know what I'm going to run it on. Now, let me tell you, if you do get into buying it, the neat thing is no dongles. It just uses serial numbers, and you can run it on your Mac, you can, or your PC. I don't care which. You can also run it on both if you want to, which is what I tend to do. So it's a very universal, very inexpensive way to get more out of our embroidery machines. So on the if I was running a Mac, I would simply download right here where it says Embrilliance package. If I'm doing Windows, I'm going to go download here, Embrilliance zip. All you do is download it, and then it'll lead you through the install. It's easy breezy. Once it's installed, I'm going to minimize that. You'll see a little icon on your desktop like this, little shortcut key. On a Mac, I don't know that you see the desktop here, but if you use Launcher, type it in Embrilliance, you'll find it. You double click on it to open it. Oh, Becky probably already has it open. I do. See it yelling at me. So, when you open it, because you don't have, it's going to ask you to put a serial number in, and I don't want you to put a serial number in because you're going to use it for free. So you just leave that blank, hit OK, and you're going to go hopping into the software. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, there's a lot of stuff in here. I don't want you to go, oh my God, what are all those things? We're baby steps. We're baby steps. All we are just talking about fonts right now. When you first get it, all I want you to think about is forget everything else on the screen right now. Really, forget everything except this big A. See this big A? See that big A? That big A, when I click on that, that allows me to enter text.
Big A?
All I want to know is big A's.
Like a big ass?
I don't, yeah, big A, big A. That, from now, I don't want you to worry about all the other pretty things up there. I want you to worry about this, creating letters. And see how it comes up and it pops up and it says create letters? Now, if I look down here, in this is called the properties box, and I click on this down arrow, it will show me the fonts that come in automatically. These aren't ones I bought. These are ones that come with the program. Okay? So let's say I want to work with this comedy font. I just select it.
And can I just throw something in real quick?
Yeah.
From a digitizing, in the digitizing world? If you're just getting into digitizing, sometimes people want to take like pictures or logos and just digitize those straight up and with the wording on it. You are always better to use built-in fonts than to try and digitize lettering.
That's not baby steps, though, Brent.
I'm just throwing that out there.
That's.
I know that's way in advance, but this is a question I get.
I don't want to scare anybody off, Brent.
Well, if I'm just saying, it's a
I
consideration.
want to put happy birthday on one of my bears.
Oh, that's fine.
That's all I want to do.
I'm just saying a consideration.
In multiple colors with a number and a name.
It's a consideration if you're talking about somebody digitizing for you.
Yes.
It's something to also consider that they're not going to be able to take the font on your logo and make it exact because they have to use fonts that are built into the program to get the best results. I mean, you could spend a lot of time fixing it.
Not
I'm
a
just.
professional digitizer.
What's that?
Not a professional digitizer.
I bet Becky could do it.
I have done it.
I'm just saying.
And it's hard.
And
It's time consuming.
that's what I'm saying. It's time
It is.
consuming. It's much easier to use built-in fonts. Is all I'm trying to say.
Now we're done arguing.
That's
Happy birthday!
Well, you've done more digitizing than I do, so.
Happy birthday! Now, that's probably not the best font, but see, I don't like that font. Do you like that font? I got 2 fonts in there. Okay. Happy birthday! I don't like that font. I don't like that font at all. So all I did was click on it, and I can come down here, and guess what? I can pick a different font. I'm going to show you how to put in a prettier font. Let's do Jazzy.
Jazzy? Like DJ Jazzy Jeff?
Jazz. Yeah, I like that better. But it's too small. Click, drag, move. Did you see I just blew that up really big? Yes, no. All is one group, right? You cannot do this on your machines. You have to do 1 letter at a time on your machine. You cannot just type in happy birthday. Not only that, but there's some nifty tools down here. These are just the beginning of fonts. I can slant it. See? See? Put them back. I can add spacing between my letters. I can tighten them up. I can put them back. In fact, I'm going to do undo. It's always our friend. Go back to the beginning. This is really cool. See where it says curve top? I can curve it. See how I blew it out of the water there? I have choices. I can get it a peak.
So just Victoria put up a question. What embroidery design is that? And this isn't actually design. It's just fonts. We just typed in.
This is not a design.
Yeah. This is
It's what I'm creating.
Yeah. So it's just we just typed it in and we're playing with it.
I typed it in. Want me to go back and show that? Blow it out with the delete.
I don't know why that screen is blurry.
It's
What's happening?
it's probably just a bandwidth issue on her end.
Okay.
Unless everybody's got
Here's
blurry,
how,
then it's a
here's
bandwidth
how I
issue on
came
our
in. I
end.
came in a nice empty program. I went up to where it says Big A. That's what I use, my tool to create letters. I simply came down here. It always comes in as ABC. I said I don't want it to say ABC. I want it to say, whoops, I wanted to say happy birthday. So all I am is typing in exactly what I wanted to say. Now I can do multiple lines. That's what this stuff does. Multiple line text, so I can add multiple lines. Single lines, or you can start to curve it on a circle, which is kind of cool. And you can say, do you want to place it on the bottom?
Question on multiple lines.
See that? Did you see that though?
Yeah, the array. Yeah, nice.
You can't do that on our machines.
Not as nicely, but there is an array
You do
function.
it 1 letter at a time, Brent.
What, to do an array like that? You can do it on the Luminaire, no problems.
Okay.
But my question for you, since I've got you here,
Yeah.
you said you could do multiple lines.
Yep.
Do you recommend multiple lines? Because I find to do single lines is easier because then you can manipulate the placement of the individual lines versus running. Because if you do
Typically, this is true. Typically. But watch what happens. I'm going to put this back off. No, I don't want to curve it anymore. Get off a curve. I'm going back to single line for a minute. The beauty of this software that makes this so easy, and this is if it's a BX font. For example, if I went out and put a PES font in here,
Yep.
I would not have the power I have right now.
Okay.
It's because this font is native to this program, which when you go out and buy fonts, if you have this program, do not buy the PES fonts because you'll be loading every letter 1 at a time. Buy the BX version of the font. That gives you the native software and all the power invested in it.
So BX is the Embrilliance file extension?
Mm-hmm. BX. And you'll see it. When you go shopping for fonts, they'll say, what do you want to download? And there'll be like all these machine-specific ones, and that's for people who don't use software. And you say, no, give me BX. Because that's where my power comes in, by buying the BX one. And then you output, whatever you create, you output it as a PES file for your machine.
If you're a brother. If you're a different machine.
If you're a brother.
If you're not brother, it's a different
They
version.
output to everybody.
Yeah.
Though. They do. But watch what gets really cool with this. I can just click on these little green squares, and all of a sudden, I now have control over where I clicked on that green square. I can start breaking up and moving things and rotating things. Watch this little rotate button. I can start like doing all sorts of individual things. I cannot do that without this software. Watch the H. I'm going to click on the H, and I'm going to just move the H. Did you see how I did that? I can make the H bigger than every other letter. I can rotate the H differently than every other letter. All of a sudden, not only do I be able to type in everything I want, but now I have the ability to fine-tune every single letter if I want to. And
Question
that
about
includes,
H.
And that includes changing the color of each letter. Question about the H.
I have a question about H, completely unrelated to embroidery, but this comes up. This comes up into my house now and again.
About the H?
About the H.
Okay.
When Sarah cusses at me, she always gives Jesus his middle name as H, his initial.
Yeah.
But what's his name? What's the H stand for?
Hulo.
Hulo?
I have no idea.
That's my question. Is it Hank, Henry,
Hello.
Hello? That would be interesting. Jesus, hello, Christ.
Oh my gosh. All right.
That's a question that I've always had about H.
Okay.
The
Well,
Wikipedia
I
says
can't answer that
holy.
question for you. I can't answer it. Sorry,
This is a-
cannot answer
This
it.
is quilting and embroidery,
Yeah.
Brent.
Yeah.
Sorry, just something that came into my head.
Anyway, the beauty
These are
of
the things that go through my mind.
the beauty of this is now I can, and your homework is to play with it. You're not going to ruin anything. You can come in here and you can play with any of these buttons down. Don't go anywhere else. Just play with the A's. This is the free part.
Okay, this is all free. You don't have to
There's
pay to get
no
there.
money on the fonts.
So this is a free playground.
It is. Now, let's say I get the, and you, I'm sorry, playing means you're learning on this stuff. It really does. But let's say I want to take this Y, and I want to, like, bring him over. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just being silly. But I'm like, yeah, baby, I like the big Y. I want to, you want it to be different. You don't want it to be like everybody else's. I don't anyway. So you can get crazy
Okay,
on here.
the Y reminds me of my favorite joke as a child.
I'm going to get rid of
No.
it.
What's the first letter in the word yellow? Come on, you know you can. Come on. As a kid, I
I'm
love
not
this.
going to say it.
All right, I want to show you how easy it is to change a color so that you have, because I love it when you can put, like, you can curve it and put all different colors, and I don't know. I think that makes
Like rainbows.
takes your stuff up a notch.
Make like a nice arc with your letters and make a rainbow. Like make a happy little rainbow.
We're just doing text today, Brent.
Yeah, but can you make can you make a rainbow happy?
I can shape it as happy. I
Yeah.
can. If I want to add a rainbow and the word happy,
No, I just want the.
I need to buy the first level.
No,
of
I'm thinking we could just
Embrilliance.
make happy as a rainbow and change the different colors of the letters so that you have a
Yeah, you can do
a
that.
happy rainbow.
Yeah, you can do that.
I don't know what I need a happy rainbow. Well, we could put a happy rainbow on our unicorn. Who wouldn't love a happy rainbow unicorn?
You can. I don't know, but I'm trying to. Oh my Lord, I'm trying to color my H.
You signed up for this.
I know, but now you got me all
Clip.
frustrated.
Stop it. Stop distracting her.
I'm gonna go get me just a big H for a minute here. It always comes in as ABC, by the way. Always. I'm going to just type H because that seems to be the word of the day.
The big H.
The big H, and I'm going to give that a different font. There we go. And I'm not going to, I don't want it slanted. So all I did was to take my slant off, by the way, was click on this 0 again. Whenever you want to just reset any of these things you played with, just click on the 0 and it takes it back to its original thing. I'm going to make it really big. So can you guys see that? Okay? Yes?
See, I get spoiled because when I watch YouTube at home, it's on my giant 60-inch television. So that's why.
Okay.
So think about that next time we're doing a close-up and I say nice nails. Just imagine that on a 60-inch.
Okay. All right. Well,
Not to make yourself-
let's move on.
not to make you self-conscious.
This is a green H, and I don't want it to be a green H, right? I want to change the color of this H.
I don't know why we get so much
I know. So there's many ways to change the colors. The easiest way is to change something that's already in your design. They all show up there. But if it's not already in your design and you want to search for a particular color, you can actually there's all sorts of threads in here, but I am a Floriani kind of gal. So I would go choose thread, and it's going to list all my Floriani colors. But in addition to that, if I don't know the exact number, but I know it has the word blue in it, you can actually use the search command, and it will bring you up a bunch of Florianis that have blue colors. Those look green to me, but isn't that cool?
And you can just pick a color and go?
You just pick a color. Then you click on the color you want. You say OK. If you know the number, you can put in the exact number. If you Modermer's in here, Robinson is in here, Brothers in here. I mean, there's a lot of thread charts already in here. So anyway, that's how you change the colors, and you can do that for every single letter and everything you want. I want to show you how to dump a font in here. If you go out and you get a BX font and you want to bring it in this software. So to do that, I'm just going to move this screen over here for a little bit. I have a couple of fonts. See how they say BX on them? I don't download the PES fonts. I download the BX fonts. These came from Juju. Lots of times she gives you free fonts. She has promotions. If you buy a design, you get a font. She's got some really beautiful fonts out there. When she gets them, you'll see how they say 1.5, 1 1/4. It gives you an idea of if it's digitized already to be for a certain size. That doesn't mean you can't change the size. You certainly can, but she's optimized it for that given size. This is how easy it is to install a font. Let's say I want to bring in this 2-inch Emily script. I simply click and I drag it over here. And as soon as I do, now it's coming up my message, I see it's been installed. It's that easy.
That's magical.
Now, if I want to come over here to my screen and change, let's say I pick this guy up and I want to say, hey, is my Emily script there? I can come over here and see it? Emily script 2-inch. And if I take them all over there, I would have Emily script 1/2 inch, 2-inch, and I just choose it and it changes to Emily script.
Nice.
And that's a script, so the first thing I would do on a script is I would tend to bring my spacing closer together. See?
Now, a PES design, if you did the PES fonts, you cannot do that. You can't just drag it over. You gotta.
Letter by letter.
You gotta do it letter by letter. Okay.
Every single individual letter, which I don't like doing. So you bring it in like that. But the beauty is any font you see out there. Now let's say you want to go, well, what's in this font? Because some fonts have different features in them, and it's easy to get lost on what fonts have what features. When you click on a font, whoops, Becky, no, you didn't want to do that. You wanted to go back over to there. Here we go. When you click on here, there's a little question mark right here. See that question mark? It's so small for me. I hope it's bigger for you guys. When you click on that, it will tell you every character that's in the font, and it will also give you the recommended minimum size and the recommended maximum size that has been digitized for. So for some fonts, for example, might not have an exclamation point in them. They just don't. So the cool thing about Embrilliance is you're just going to click on that. It's going to tell you all the characters you have in that font. So I know I have capital letters, I have small letters, I have 0 through 9, and I have a lot of punctuation marks. And if I stay within 20, 22 is the recommended size, but if I go all the way up to 109 millimeters, they say my results will be good.
And if they're not, then you have the multiple font sizes you could bring in if you wanted to try
2
different
was
sizes.
the biggest she had on this
Okay.
one. But there's also, they're making fun of me again or something. I don't like that.
So what's something to look out for if you do expand your font beyond its capabilities? Do you get stitch density issues, or what do you run into?
You will get stitch issues. They will start to look stretched out. And with Embrilliance, you'll actually start to see it on the screen.
Okay.
You'll actually see it on the screen, so you know it's not going to look good when you put it out there.
And then how about the opposite of going too small?
If you go too small, now all of a sudden they're stitching on top of each other, and it's just a bulky mess. which is not cool either. So you want to look and get close to the size you want, and then work within the parameters of that font. And they'll tell you when you go out to buy them. They'll tell you what sizes it's good for. And there's especially like when you want to do really tiny fonts, they'll say this is good for small lettering.
Now, talking about tiny fonts, do you recommend using micro threads for tiny fonts?
I do like the micro thread for.
Have you tried DecoBob instead of micro thread?
I can't honestly say it did. The time I had to use a tiny thread was really tiny. It was a Floriani.
Yeah, Floriani makes a micro thread.
Micro thread that I was using.
And
Has DecoBob got the same sheen?
I don't know. I've been wanting to try it out, and I haven't found anybody that has
yet.
yet.
It has the same sheen.
But I think it's the same weight though, because I think micro thread is.
Sheen.
Oh, you just want color.
I like color.
That's
I
all right.
like sparkles and I like sheen. So.
Sparkly, sheeny rhinestones.
Yeah.
Just put rhinestones on it.
So yeah. So now the cool thing is, whatever you finish here, you can save it. When you save it, do not save it as PES. Don't bring PES up to work on. You are really shooting yourself in the foot. If you're going to have something you want to continually play with, you always want to go back to the BX format. That's where your power for fine-tuning is. As soon as you lock yourself into PES, you've now told it it's going to come out on that Brother machine, and it's all sorts of nightmares. And that's not just Brother, that's of any machine. Janome, don't get machine specific until you're ready to output it to the machine.
And I'm going to second that. On a software level, Brother does make a digitizing software.
Yes.
And I'm not saying it's bad software. In fact, you can usually get it, they give it away with machines a lot of times. But if you are truly going to get into
nobody buys it.
Yeah, because if you're truly going to get into digitizing, you want a platform independent software.
You do.
Because then you're not limited to that machine.
This is worth it for fonts alone, and I haven't purchased a piece of software yet.
Yeah.
Are you reading the notes?
I can't see the
Yeah,
notes.
Victoria was wondering about the pattern of the Becky reject that you were putting a binding on.
Oh, yes.
Is there a pattern for that?
There is. That's actually a Anita Good design.
Okay.
That is. It's an older one.
We'll post a link to it at some point in the comments.
I can
maybe.
look it up. It's one of the Anita Good designs. Spring versions of the Easter eggs.
I love how easy it is to get us sidetracked.
I know, but I'll tell you why this is a reject. I was playing with Mylar with this, which in general I had a lot of fun with. This has actually got Mylar in it. See how it sparkles? Me and my sparkle.
Yeah, it sparkles. Yep.
Yeah, there's Mylar underneath this thread, and I thought that was really cool. I love that. The reason it's a reject is I did not interface it properly before, or stabilize it properly before I embroidered it. This is a linen. And I didn't put anything underneath it, and I should have. I just put it straight to the batting. Not good. And this is a linen. These lighter fabrics needed that, what's my favorite? Pellon. Stabilizer.
The fusible woven?
Yeah, the fusible woven. 10. I didn't say non-woven.
101 or 102?
101.
101, yeah.
Yeah. That should have been put on this. Because you can see how it's sucked in. I'm going to show you what not to do with embroidery. You can see how it's sucked in everywhere. That's a perfect example of a piece that's not stabilized properly.
Look, we learned all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
About how not to do things.
Yeah.
Next question.
It's a pretty design, but
is micro thread like bobbin thread?
That's a good question.
Do you have any? Micro thread is thin.
Micro thread, I believe.
It's thin. It's like 90 weight.
It depends on the manufacturer. I want to say that the Floriani micro thread, was 60 weight.
Oh, I think it's.
It might be thinner.
You don't have any here?
I don't know. We sold out of it. I never got more of it.
I bought it all.
Yeah.
It's a much thinner weight thread.
Yeah.
So literally noticeably thinner.
Yeah.
This is the normal Floriani.
Yeah. Normal Floriani's 40 weight.
It's like half of this.
Yeah, so it's like a 60 or an 80 weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that
it's like half of this. So when you're doing small letters, you can imagine if the thread is thinner and it's stitching along, you're going to get a better, you're not going to have them all bundled up on top of each other. They're going to look a lot better. And if you do really tiny lettering, if you do just this, it's very hard to read. And I mean, I was doing tiny.
Yeah, and you want to use a smaller needle if you get into it.
And I wasn't using a built-in font. I was using a font I digitized. So it was very important that it be perfect.
Oh yeah, throwing some shade my way. I see.
Yeah, you're throwing some shade. You're right.
But yeah, no. Micro threads are often because somebody asked if just bobbin thread. Yeah, bobbin threads are usually the same weight as what you're going to get in micro threads. And I would encourage you, try an experiment. If you've got some bobbin,
a deco bob.
Yeah, if you have some bobbin thread kicking around, just do up a sample piece and see how it stitches out. It doesn't take anything, especially if you're doing micro threads. It's going to be a small piece anyway. But from a weight standpoint, it's usually at least a 60, probably closer to an 80 when you start getting into micro threads.
But they don't have the sheen.
Well, yeah, it's going to depend on the manufacturer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the sheen.
You like the sheen.
I do.
Do you use Microtex needles?
I do. Now, there's a big controversy going on regarding the needles. But yes, I use Microtex, and when I go small, I think I have a 7. They go really tiny. And that's what I needed to have with my really tiny thread. But did you hear the big controversy on the needles?
No.
On that we should be using the
Oregon versus Smash?
Oregon needles on our brothers because that's what they're timed with. I don't.
Okay, I'm going to give you a little tech insight on that. I have had one machine that needs to have Oregon needles.
Really?
It was just not happy till you put Oregon needles in it.
Put Oregon needles in.
The difference.
I have some of those.
Yeah, Oregon needles versus like a Schmetz needle. An Oregon needle is like a 0.5 millimeter difference in length. It's a very minor bit. Typically, it's not a big issue, but I have run into one machine in all the ones I've worked on.
Really?
It needed Oregon needles.
I put those in my 10 needle.
Yeah.
And it was giving me hissy fits, and they're still in there.
Yeah. It's a difference. It's a very minor difference in length, and it makes a difference.
But my normal sewing, no, I like the Microtex.
Yep. Most of the machines are going to handle regular needles.
I've tried the dime ones. You're not going to like what I say about dime ones. That's one of the things I'm going to throw on my shoulder.
That's fine.
The dime needles? I like the dime needles.
See, there you go. Yeah. Becky's throwing them over her shoulder. I think they break and break and break.
Well, I mean, as a complete side note, you've got chrome versus titanium needles is a whole nother. Yes. There's all sorts of rabbit holes you can fall down. You start talking about threaded needles, it's a debate that would go on all night.
All right. Any other questions on Embrilliance? I want to show you how to shoot it over to your machine if your machine is Wi-Fi friendly. Because this, to me, if I do nothing else with my free version of Embrilliance, it will be to send files to my machine.
How does it work with every machine?
If it's a Wi-Fi enabled machine.
Just checking.
It has to be a Wi-Fi enabled machine. So if you have a Dream machine that's Wi-Fi enabled, it works.
Luminaires out of the box will have Wi-Fi on it.
Luminaires work.
Janome and every brand.
Wi-Fi enabled machine.
In the brother world, the only one out of the box with Wi-Fi is going to be a Luminaire. And this is not going to be true for the Baby Lock world. It'll be the whatever it is, the Solaris or whatever.
And as we progress through this, another thing I use this for, and this is not part of the free version, is I will actually pull the design up here to watch what's going to stitch out and watch my simulated stitch out even before I go to my machine. I want to know what's going on, and I don't want to print a bunch of pieces of paper. And I've got it loaded in my computer already, so I might as well bring it up here. That's what I do. But anyway, this is so, and I don't know how many pieces of software, and sending stuff to my machine, including with PE design, has been a nightmare.
I am aware.
Look how easy this is. I'm just going to go under Utility, and I'm going to say Send to, in my case, because I told it ahead of time that I had a Luminaire. Send to XP1. Watch this. This is just magical to me. When am I sending this design? I say, okay. Oh, the file was sent to the machine. Really? Let me prove that to you.
Can we just turn it around?
Well, you can turn it around. Let's go into embroidery mode now. I'm doing this really backwards here.
Hopefully the glare isn't too bad. There we go.
I'm going to my pocket. where we see everything. And I sent it via Wi-Fi. I have never seen any of the software just go boop.
And my experience with PE design is not that easy.
No, it isn't. I tried to learn it just for that. And
Yep.
I'm like, ugh.
Yep.
And that's the free version, peeps. That's the don't spend a cent.
Question.
Get it. Play with the fonts, because I would like to, like, every week, just take a baby step with you. Just a little baby step. Just a baby step. So you're not afraid of it.
Now, a question for you, as
Yeah.
far as from a software standpoint, what are the hardware requirements? Do you need a high-end computer, or just pretty much
No.
any laptop will run it at this
I
point?
think it told us on their website what it wanted. It's looking for XP10.
Okay.
So,
A Windows 10?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So, I mean, don't load up your grandfather's 20-year-old PC.
Oh, come on. Windows 95 was the greatest operating system ever invented.
Yeah.
That was 98.
98 was good.
Ni-
This
98
one,
was-
this is upgraded for XP10.
Good old days, Windows 98. At least I feel like an old
believe it or
man.
not, there's a ton of YouTube videos on this stuff too. They have a lot of training on it. So if you get stuck, you can go on there and go, and how do I do this? They have a manual, but the manuals are really dry. And I read manuals. I read all my manuals. Their manual is not the best manual I've ever seen. So I would encourage the video training instead. But we're going to be here to give you those baby steps.
Yes.
If there's enough people who want the baby steps in Embrilliance. But
Yeah.
our friend Danny has done some really cool things in it, and she's just afraid to show people how to do it. So she's making me do it.
You're welcome.
How to take existing designs and add something to them.
Yeah.
You know, or
And a lot of times that's all you want to do, because you don't necessarily need to reinvent the wheel. You just want to
No,
change
you
something that's already out there.
right. And that, I mean, I can take it all the way to, hey Becky, how can I make an applique? Hey Becky, how can I create something from scratch? But I mean, you can't start there. You'll just be like, oh, it's too much. It's too much. Baby steps. And the first baby step costs you nothing. Download it, play with the fonts, stitch it out, put it on your machine, see what you think. And then we'll go into more detail on what you can do with them. But I don't want to go too far too fast.
And we'll be here again, what, next week to
Yeah.
get more into this?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
want to do is baby
And
step.
if anybody has anything they want to see or anything that they want us to cover, just feel
Not something specific, let
Yeah,
me know.
if something
Otherwise,
specific,
I'm
yeah.
going to take you through it.
Yeah, and that goes for most anything quilting and sewing. We only have so much stuff to do here, so let us know if anything
Well,
you're interested
I didn't
in.
realize what time it is. I have one more thing I wanted to show.
Okay.
Can I?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I wanted to tell you that last week, of course, most of you didn't watch the show, so whoop-de-doo. We spent a lot of time talking about how we cut on the Cricut Maker, and it was really fun for me because I came in Saturday to the shop, and we had a bunch of people who had already purchased the Nebula quilt, and we sat and we learned how to lay out an entire month of Nebula on our Cricuts. And that was really fun for me because I get to share that stuff, and I'm going to continue to work with them and share it. But then I said, oh, we're all creating the same thing. Wouldn't it be really cool? Yeah, here goes Becky flying off her head again. Wouldn't it be really cool if Becky already created something, wouldn't it be really cool if I could share it with the powers to be at Four Pines? Like if you already bought Nebula, could Becky share the Cricut file? If you bought the Main Street pillow, could I share some cut files with you? Now, I am not allowed to share cut files created by another designer. But I can share cut files that I created from scratch or with free shapes in Cricut. Is that cool?
Yeah.
So we have the ability to take it further and say, look, if you want cut files and we have them available, Becky might share her link with you as long as you promise not to hold me responsible for
Everything you screw up.
But I want to show you what I then went in and did the Cricut because Becky can never get enough.
I saw the coolest thing with the Cricut this week.
I saw that the dinosaurs.
They were cutting tortillas with the Cricut. I was like, I need a
They were
Cricut.
cutting tortillas
I need a
with
Cricut. Yep.
Was that with a rotary blade?
Yes,
it had to be.
Yes, it
had
was with
to
the
be.
rotary blade, and then they make grilled cheese with it. Not
Oh, it
grilled
was
cheese,
fantastic.
A quesadilla. Dinosaur quesadillas. I wouldn't recommend it because they don't say it's a food safe braid, but hell, I would probably eat it anyway. But
I mean,
anyway,
you're probably feeding to
I
a
wanna
kid that
show
ate
you.
the cookie
See
off the
what
floor.
Becky did the Kimberbell ginger pillow on Cricut. The gingerbread pillow.
I thought you were talking about like some sort of redheaded stepchild pillow.
No, it was the gingerbread cookie pillow. I did that one. So Main Street Pillow is
See, I
coming.
can't make that joke about redheaded stepchildren. You know why?
No.
Because you got one.
Because
Yeah, just real quick.
my niece
Main Street
is a
Pillow.
redheaded stepchild.
This is the new Main Street Pillow that's coming out that I've been tooting my horn about because I said we should do some classes on this to take you how to put your background quilting in, do all your embroidery on your machines. I'd love to walk people through this if there's any interest. If there's no interest, I'm just going to do my own. But I am setting myself up to do more than one, and I happen to have a few people I know that are doing it as well. So I said, oh, I'm just going to lay it out inside Cricut.
Yeah, as a side note on that, we may be doing that a week from Sat. We don't have it set yet for sure when we're doing it because we want to save a week from Saturday open as kind of a rain date.
I'm gonna tickle them a little bit.
Okay. Fine.
Okay, if you come in and you get your CD, I want you to do, inside there you're going to see this cut diagram. I want you to see I'm now computer ready. I want you to see my cut diagram. I'm going to minimize it so you can see it. Does it look familiar? Now I'll show this, Eddie. Now show my computer. Now show this, Eddie. Now show my computer, Eddie. Good job. Do you see what I did?
Oh, you duplicated the cutting in your Cricut.
I did.
Nice.
I did. And now that I've done that, I can share it.
And you know our Cricut should be here tomorrow.
Oh, we didn't tell them that. That's shop news.
I totally forgot about that.
I know. So, just so you know, if you haven't got your CD from Four Pines, come get your CD from Four Pines, because not only am I going to show you how to cut all the fabric on the Cricut, I'm going to show you how to cut the embellishments, the vinyls, the felt, all the windows. We are going to cut them so we're not trimming in the hoop. And
You make it
here's,
sound like it's a disease to trim in the hoop.
I'm going to show you.
Some of us
what they
peasants
give us.
enjoy it.
I don't enjoy it. I'm going to show you why. Here's what the cuts look like. And I'll tell you, this is going to require a little thinking on Becky's part because they gave me a diagram of what we're going to cut. And they gave me the sizes of what we're going to cut. But they didn't tell me what material I'm cutting it out of. I have to go through the instructions and cross-reference each one of these pieces to the material. So Becky is doing a little work.
And that's why we love you.
Yes. But the SVG files come with, and now I can't give this away, but they come with your CD.
Yeah, they'll come with the CD, yeah.
But what I can give you is what I cross-reference. I can give you the chart that cross-references them. This is a case where Becky is not allowed to share after I put it in Cricut Design. I'll get slapped on my hand.
Yeah. And we also want to make sure that the designers are getting their due.
Well, I'm
There
not
you
giving anybody my cutting instructions unless they have come
Well, I'm
to
just saying that the Kimberbell
If
puts a lot
they came
of...
to Four Pines
Yeah,
and
Kim-
they bought their CD from Four Pines, I feel this is a perk. This
Oh, yeah.
is a perk right here. And all I do is have to email a link to you. So,
Cool.
but I'm going to cut it out first and make sure it works. But yeah, so maybe, I'm thinking maybe a week from Saturday.
A week from-
Start. Just a couple hours
Yeah,
class.
yeah,
A full
but-
day, and then we meet again, and we meet again.
Yeah, it's like
So
a-
you
it'd be
can
like a
get
2-hour,
homework done
yeah.
and think about questions.
Homework?
Homework. Like if we do this, your homework is going to be to have your material ahead ready. We're not going to be prepping material. Y'all know what I mean by prepping material by now. This is what a prep material looks like on Becky's, or I'll kick you. I'll kick you if you show up without prep material.
Why didn't you use this slap band for that?
Because I don't have them yet. That's a great idea.
You don't have
I
your
need
slap
to buy-
bands?
No, I haven't bought them yet.
I thought I had it. I thought I had it.
This is it. This is everything is ironed and prepped either with starch or best press or something
I thought
to stiffen it up, ready to go, and then you're ready to cut.
And if your question is about prep, last week
Last week was all about
we
prep.
covered that a little bit.
Last week was all about
We might
prep. So
put that on our
I
list
don't want to spend the class
Yeah.
cutting material and prepping material. I'd
Yeah.
like to kick it off with here we go. And the first thing you need is 8. I don't do this, but they tell you 8 plastic bags and a Sharpie so we can organize our pieces by block.
And we have plenty of plastic bags and Sharpies here if you don't bring any.
Okay, I was making them bring their plastic bags.
Why got a ton of plastic bags?
It's all about getting organized.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
So that was that. And we're over, but I didn't show the March blank either.
Well, we can do it next week because March isn't here yet.
Okay.
And we'll probably have a sample ready by
We'll have
next
it
week
done
too.
by then.
We'll have a sample.
Okay. All right.
So March fill in the blank will be next week. So that'll give them something to tune in for.
It looks like that.
Looks like what?
Oh, yeah, it looks like what? It looks like that.
Yes. That's the March fill in the blank. We'll have that available here soon. Anyway,
Excuse me.
so
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
is that it? Are we good?
I-
Are we signing off? Thank you all for
If
watching.
there's no more questions,
I love the fact you just put Fraser on there for us, Eddie.
okay. Thank you. Another quiz next week.
Yes.
All right. And Kate, congratulations.
Yes.
And you're gonna get. How does she get her number?
We're gonna email it to her.
You have her email?
Yeah, we have her
okay,
email.
perfect.
Yeah, we'll email it to her.
Perfect.
I don't. I asked her.
I have it.
Oh, you got
Do
it?
you?
I think I should have it somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't find it.
Oh, I'll
Okay.
get it.
Well,
I'm sure.
congratulations, Kate. And the rest of you, quiz about 6:15. It gives enough people to log in. Then we do a 3-part quiz.
Yep.
First winner gets $10.
10
gift
gift
certificate.
certificate.
And don't forget the love notes. Don't forget the love notes.
And love notes, yes. Love 20 if you want one of those love notes kits. And that's good till Saturday.
Yep,
I think that's everything.
that's everything.
All right. Thanks for joining.
I like your so.
Hopefully we'll see you
So
all.
on. I like that.
Like,
Brent.
share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe, so on, and be excellent to one
Yes. So
another.
on. Be excellent.